Guys, for about $33 shipped on Amazon, I've got a 21 turn 550 motor and an 80 amp ESC Globact. We're going to take a look at this, get it into the TRX4 Sportish, and take it for a drive. Take a look. And let's get a good look at these things. The motor, pretty much standard issue, 550 size. It does have bushings at both ends. So economical on that. I put the pinion gear on it just to get a feel of the detents. It actually feels good right there. It feels good. Now the ESC, I'm really hoping this drives kind of like a 1080. But what makes this one neat, you guys can see it, you can actually set the BEC with a jumper. Then you got your drive mode and all that, which is simply off, on, off. All right, 80 amps. Okie dokie, we're gonna go ahead and get this in and see how it works on the Sportish. I wanna show you guys this. All the holes are threaded, which means that even those two right there, left and right, going directly into the magnets are also threaded. So yeah, if you're gonna use a screw into those holes, make sure you use the proper length one, which won't be very much. Looks like the magnets are longer than the armature. That's interesting. Looking at the magnets, they actually go all the way back to the end of the armature, right in front of the little fan. So they are full-length magnets for sure. Before I power this thing up, I do want to go over some specs on this ESC. It's only good to 2S. And you guys know that I typically run 3S on all my crawlers. At the cost of this, I might try it on 3S, but we are going to go ahead and test it on 2S just to see, because I got to make sure this thing can do the full 3S. You know, it's just kind of my thing, right? But anyway, I did use that jumper. I moved that to the 6.4 volts. Now, I do have the stock Traxxas diff and transmission servos. Hopefully they can hold 0.4 volts, right? I've been told it's iffy. Let's find out. Let's get a feel for this in first gear. Okay. This is on 2S now. So once I get done, then I'll put it on 3S and see if we get a smoke show. Second gear. Seems to feel all right. There is no 1080 control on the descent. When you let up, but don't go to full neutral, it just kind of coasts. Thoughts right now, just, you know, very early thoughts on this, is that, you know, I think the motor may be the shining part of the whole deal, but then again, if you're just looking for a motor, you may as well get a Holmes Trailmaster or Crawlmaster Sport. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the rocks and see how it controls there. We are back in first gear, and let's see how this thing drives. Pretty good at climbing. Control feels all right. The descents are where I think it's going to leave a little bit to be desired, and we're about to get into some of that. But as far as the climbing goes, feels pretty good. Now let's drop down something and just to see here. Okay, it does free roll until you're at full, you know, like this. Then it does the lockup pretty well. All right, so yeah, the descent control isn't all that great on it. Right now, it's looking pretty good though, aside from that. Let's see here if I don't roll it here. Let's see here. Really close to rolling it. There we go. Now the slider really hung us up, so give it a little bit of a boost. I gotta say, I mean,
I think for general duty, it's doing good. Duty. Now we're going to do what we're not supposed to do, and that is crawl in second gear. Just to check. Now, when you're crawling in second gear, you're really testing a lot of things, you know, really with one of these kind of trucks. You're checking, you know, motor power, motor control, and with the higher gearing, you lose a little bit of control through the gearing, and sometimes you kind of fall over. All right, don't do it again. All right, so all right, we're gonna go to the ramp real quick. I want to really get a good look at the drag brake and how that works. First gear. Now you come up here and you let off. There's your drag brake. If you touch the reverse just a little bit, it releases and free rolls. So the descent control is leaving a little bit to be desired. Now, a few years ago, this kind of control was absolutely standard issue. The Mamba Max Pro was like this. The 1060 ESC is like this. So, but it just really releases. And you know, when you start running the 1080, the Axe systems, the Mamba X's, the Monster X's, with that descent control, it really makes a difference. And now it just simply free rolls. Just like that. And I also shifted it. 2S is coming out and the 3S is going in. The reason I'm setting up like this is because if this thing happens to catch fire, I want to be able to get the battery out as quick as possible. 3S, no fire yet. Everything feels all right. Okay. Let's power it up and see if it arms. We only got 2 beeps. That's not a good sign. But it's working. You know what? We're going to give it a drive. This part is going to be bodiless. Again, if something happens to go up in flames, I want to be able to get to it quick. This is first gear. Now, I want to point out that the ESC may be hard set for a 2S low voltage cutoff. So running 3S on it may actually pull too far down and actually completely kill the battery. So you kind of got to watch that. We're going to go ahead and go into second gear. Give that a run. I mean, this is, you know, sportish, which means it's actually the Bronco with a sport body on it. Feels good. Let's throttle it. That looks good, moving right along. That's more my style for a TRX4. Nice. Looks like it's wanting to try to do a donut, doesn't it? There we go, it got one. Okay, let's go crawl on this. Let's really see what it's got. Let's see what we've got here, crawling around. Yeah, it still free rolls like we've already seen, which there's nothing on that should have changed, right? Make the crawl. I mean, it seems to be doing just fine. But, you know, I don't know about the low voltage cutoff on this thing, guys. If the low voltage cutoff, like I mentioned, is still set at 2S, then it'll take this 3S all the way down to 2S cutoff, which is like 6 volts. And 3S should be around 9 volts at the minimum. So, as in 3 volts per cell is about all you should really drain down. And with the bigger truck, sometimes you'll set it for 3.4 volts per cell. The reason is they put a big time load on this stuff. So under load, it can actually pull that cell down below the 3 volts pretty easy, even though your cutoff is at 3.4 volts. Now, with the crawlers, usually, and I'm still running on here, usually they don't pull that hard. You know, as far as your overall second gear, they don't pull all that hard, so you can kind of, you know, you got a little bit more freedom in some ways on a crawler with your low voltage battery settings, if they're settable. Now, I haven't tried crack-a-doom with this truck without a body. I kind of gotta assume it'll get it. I mean, without the body weight on there, it should go, right? Get that to drop down into there. Let's see here. I gotta assume it's gonna get this without having to up body weight. Yeah. And also that rear bumper kept that back end from falling down in there. Even though I'm kind of hung up on the back end a little bit. Now that bumper hanging over keeps the back tires from falling down in the gap of death, so that's kind of a good thing there as well.
Well, guys, there you go. 2S, done good. 3S, it done good, but I cannot recommend you guys do that. I do not know how low it'll drag the 3S down. It could completely ruin your 3S battery. Or if you happen to stall that motor, it can absolutely go poof. And at the very least, a real stinky smoke will come out of this thing. At worst, it could possibly catch fire. So stay on the 2S limit. I did it for 3S, but you guys noticed how I had the body off, all that stuff. I was trying to be as prepared as possible. But, you know, anyway, as far as the driving characteristics, it drove real similar to a Hobbywing 1060. And I'm referring to the feel of it and the descent control, which was pretty much either full drag brake or nothing. So I was kind of hoping for something a little bit closer to a 1080, but it is what it is. $32, $33 off of Amazon. I'll put a link below for it. If you need a full combo, if you've messed up your motor, ESC, hey, $33 is not bad. Just careful with the 3S. If you guys do it, you're doing that at your own risk. Do not say ExoCage told you to put 3S on it. Not happening. Disclaimer. Use at your own risk. Alright, so for me, it worked okay, and I am going to leave it in here for a little while longer. Got something else I got to do to this thing. But anyway, guys, check that description for the link to this combo, which is okay. I've got to tell you, it's okay. I'll link up the tires if I can find those, the wheels, TRX4 Sport, whatever else I can find, the Vitavon housings and all that stuff. I'll put links to all that down below, so make sure you guys check that out. Affiliate links, AMAN, eBay, Amazon, and Horizon are down below. Granted, you're not going to find a TRX4 Sport in Horizon, but I don't think you'll find any of this on Horizon. Oh well, if I do find something, I'll put it down below. Guys, use those links. They do help out the channel. So you know what we're going to end with? Check that description. Use those links. Make sure you're subscribed. And thank you all for watching.
Guys, if you like what you see, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell. So, in the description, there's a link to become a channel member. If you want to become a channel member, it's a very simple $2, $5, $10, or if you really got some money, $25 a month. It's a simple way to support the channel. So, get that, and I am doing monthly giveaways for members only, so you might want to consider it. So, guys, use those links. Make sure you're subscribed. Thank you all for watching.